All right, welcome back, you guys. Blade here, back with another video of P5X. And inside today's video, guys, we are going to be using one of the few teams about that Kasumi can actually end up utilizing, as well as talking about another one, and then talking about a few buffs that I do think that she should have or not have. So if you guys are interested in this, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really does help me out quite a lot here. We're coming even closer to 20k subscribers, so if you guys are able to assist me with hitting that before April 18th, it would mean the world to me. But with that all out the way, small little disclaimer. I know some of y'all are looking at the screen like, Blade, we don't have A6R6 units. What are you doing? Listen, I'm going to try to use them to the best of my capabilities as a A0R0 rotation, meaning for our cord, for example, we're not using any highlights on the first turn, we're only using it on the second turn, and we are only using our skill 2 when we need to use it. We cannot just say, all right, we have our little buffs on and try to ignore that. No, I'm gonna try to do it as if it's an A0R0 cord and work accordingly. As for Futaba, that's gonna be a little bit harder because I can't really revert her skill 3, but we are still going to do the rotation normally, which is the 1-3 rotation, showing you guys exactly how this is gonna work. Hopefully you guys vibe with it, and let's go ahead and get into it. So one of Kasumi's teams is going to be utilizing all these characters with only one character that can be subbed out, and this is Justine and Caroline. Now Justine and Caroline is in their buffer state, of course, so you want to usually replace them with another buffer. This can be anyone such as like Winvast, or it can be, if you don't have Winvast herself, a character like Leon. Those are probably your best bets when it does come down to subbing anyone out here, and there's a couple reasons why. If you don't have the twins invested in, let's say they're A0, obviously, most likely Winvast is going to be the better one as long as you have her A0R0. She's going to give out the better buff here for a lot of you guys, at least until level 100 comes out, so do keep that in mind. Though there's a reason that I do feel like you should use the twins due to a little bit of a follow-up, but I think that's going to be more of an A1 exclusive, so if you don't have the twins A1, I wouldn't recommend utilizing them in the team. If you do have A1 for Winvast though, it's definitely pretty darn good to put them in the team, so keep that in mind, and that will help you out a lot. But remember, if you don't got either, just use Leon. So with this in mind here, there are a few things that you do want to have as a prerequisite. Going down to the dagger for Wonder here, Wonder is going to be playing a supporter role once again, so you can either use the arc knife, which is going to specialize in elemental ailments here. You are going to be proccing those with one of your personas called Vishnu, or another persona as well that's going to be really benefiting off elemental ailments. Or you can use the Glimmer Dagger. The Glimmer Dagger is the one I end up using for her quite often, and that's mainly because I use a persona called Sorosha, which is pretty much her dedicated persona for Bless. Utilizing this is going to make your Bless highlights hit even harder, only for one turn, but it is actually worth it, so I mean I would suggest a lot of you guys go ahead and utilize it. When it comes down to the 3 turn of the personas here, I would suggest you guys to use Sorosha, Dionysus, as well as Yanosik. Yanosik himself actually can be swapped out for maybe Vishnu if you wanted to. I just don't want to use Vishnu because sometimes it's a little bit iffy, but for you guys, I guess I'll do it the one time. So now we have this all set up here. This is going to be the team that we're going to utilize, and it should at least help you out a lot when it does come down to the character. There are a few things that you do need to know, and that's mainly that Violet is a 3-turn DPS, not a 2-turn like most DPSs that we do have, meaning she does take a little bit of setup. But with the right setup, you should be pretty darn good. So let's just go ahead and get straight into the battle. Now there are a few things that I do gotta say about Violet herself. She is not a bad character whatsoever. I honestly feel like she's extremely strong. Just a lot of people get a lot of things mixed up where since the character has been pushed back, they are just skipping because they feel like that she's just not going to be strong enough to keep up with you guys. A little bit of a news flash, Violet even to this day on TW and KR is still freaking used and pretty usable. I want to say at least about 3 updates ago, maybe 2 updates ago, we recently saw her come back into the fray for a lot of players who decided not to go really hardcore on Luce. So I mean, like, she's still an insanely good unit, don't get it twisted. So starting off with the rotation here, in which I will have a rotation video later down the line, you want to go ahead and use the twins using their skill 1. Twins using their skill 1 is going to give you a passive, which obviously allows you to get the attack percent as well as other lovely buffs that you can have. This is going to be great, so meaning that you don't have to use Terrakaja on her, so I think you guys really should utilize them more than anything. But by going ahead and doing that, we're going to go ahead and set up, and we're going to use our skill 1 with Vishnu, allowing him to be way more susceptible to defense downs as well as other little procs. After this, you want to go ahead and use your skill 2. This is going to give you a lovely attack bonus buff as well as a crit rate, which will help you out in the long run. Then once it comes to Sumi's turn, I would advise you to put this on the twins, mainly because it allows her to do a double hit when the twins do attack. Seeing they do their follow-up, they do their attack, she attacks off of them, they do their follow-up, and she attacks off of them again, doubling your damage rather than singling it. So we're going to use our skill 2, making the twins our dance partner right here. And this is way easier if you have her A1, but unfortunately we have A0, so we have to work with what we got. Afterwards, we're going to go ahead and use the twins. They're going to use their skill 2, but at this point in time, you should have your Navi as well as you should have your highlight. If it was up to me, no matter what, proc off your Navi immediately using your skill 1, taking down the defense even further, setting up your skill 3 for when you actually have to do your damage phase. And then on this one, you can do 2 things. Either you can buff with, 3 things actually. You can buff with Cord, helping out your highlight, building up more highlight for at least a huge play. You can go ahead and use your twins, helping out your attack, which is actually pretty darn nice because it sets you up for the next highlight fray, or you can save it for Wonder. If it was up for me, I would tell you guys to save it for Wonder. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just use the skill 2 here and get the first hit off. The first hit is obviously going to do a follow-up, which did about 126k. And then afterwards, we do another follow-up here, dealing a little bit more damage. And then this is going to lead us to get another follow-up, which did at least a decent amount. I think it did like 32k actually there. So that wasn't even decent. That was actually kind of low. But we got our follow-ups on off. So now we're kind of set up. So once it does come down to it here, we have a couple options that we can do. First thing I would tell you guys to do is go ahead, swap over to your Dionysus, pop off your highlight, and this is going to give you an overall really good attack buff that's going to be insanely worth it. After going ahead and do this, I would recommend a lot of you guys to go ahead and proc off the rebellion that you do have on your Dionysus, or at least using your evolution. This is giving you the crit that you do need, setting up everything that you want to have. Now, seeing that we've already done this, we're going to go ahead and use our skill 3. This is going to set up us dealing some immense damage here, which is just going to be great. At this point, you might as well go ahead and do it. You could very well stall it out to the 3rd turn, but using it on the 2nd turn really won't do much to you because she's technically already in the masquerade mode when she does do that. But going ahead, and it is going to be the 2nd time, we have 2 posture stacks. And since we're on the 2nd turn and we've already used our skill 1, what we want to go ahead and do is just put on our mask. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, we're going to put on the mask right here. The mask is going to go ahead and actually deal a decent bit of damage. And all we have to do is in the 3rd turn, pop off our highlight into the skill 3. So this time, let's use our skill 1. Although it was automatically used, we're still going to go ahead and use it as well, giving us full stacks. At this point in time, we do 138k, which is going to be great, leading us to on the 3rd turn using our skill 3. So once we use our skill 3 for our Futaba, which I do apologize once again that I can't use the thing that we need to use there, we're going to use our skill 3, reset back up. We get our buff on with our skill 1. This obviously helps out quite a lot here. We then go ahead, swap over to our lovely Sarosha. Sarosha is going to use their skill 1 as well, helping out our highlights. After we go ahead and utilize this, we can go ahead and pop off our skill 1, hopefully get a shock. Once this shock does come out, this is where we do all our most damage. Since we already have our mask popped, we immediately use our actual highlight, dealing a decent bit of damage, and then leading on to the final hit. If you do have an extra highlight, which I don't think you should at this point of time, you go ahead and just pop off your skill 3, and this will still deal a decent bit of damage, setting you up with 254k. That's the correct way of actually doing her rotation. So now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and explain what I want to see for her buffs. When it does come down to Kasumi, she's one of the few characters that I feel like is in a good spot. The only downside for her is going to be her skill rotation taking 3 turns, while most DPSs take 2. Now granted, you could take a little bit longer to get even more of those rotations down, but it's not really going to benefit you, seeing that a lot of the things that's going to be happening isn't going to be the best for you. So I think a way if they could buff her and they really wanted to buff her would be trying to minimize, or at least minimize, the amount of turns you do take. On the off chance that you can't do that, the only other thing that I think she does need is to guarantee that crit on her highlight. If they can give her a guaranteed crit, then she'll be freaking perfect. But other than that, I think mainly just a small crit buff to all of her skills would be highly worth it. She does more than enough damage and does more than enough with her crit damage that she can have, and if you build her well enough, she is going to absolutely skyrocket in damage. So it's honestly up to you when it does come down to that. But with the buffs that I ended up mentioning here, what do you guys think? What do you think they're going to add to her? What do you want to have added? And I'll eventually have the team guide out for you guys very soon, so look forward to it. But so now, peace out you guys, and see you later.